Well, we had a couple days of OG Fortnite, but Epic Games has now added skill-based matchmaking and bots, and I gotta say, this was very divisive for the community. So today, I wanted to give my thoughts on the matter, take a look at a bunch of creators and players' replies to get a gauge on how people are feeling about this, and as always, guys, I would love to know what you think about it down below afterwards. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy with too many YouTube channels. I don't know if it's showing, guys. I'm recording this video at 2 a.m. Long day of fights right now. You're seeing this probably in like 6-7-ish hours after it's recording, so apologies. I don't know if I'm gonna sound a little bit less enthusiastic than usual. I don't know if I look tired, but regardless, guys, let's get into this. So I personally really hate this, and before we comment down below and disagree with me, something that I am absolutely 100% for is bot lobbies. If Epic Games were to have some sort of toggle where you can just play and an all bot lobby for the people that want to do that, I think that's fantastic. But I've always been against skill-based matchmaking. I've always been against bots in Fortnite in general. And OG really reminded me how much fun that used to be, man. Because for so long, we kind of forgot what it was like, or at least I forgot what it was like. I loved the idea of just, it brought me back to not just OG Fortnite, but back to just old gaming in general. I loved finding the people who didn't know what they were doing. I loved finding the people that were so good that I had no chance. That's the experience of OG Fortnite. That's the experience of Battle Royale, and that's the experience of gaming. We've been, I don't want to say conditioned over time, but we've gotten so used to fighting players kind of like either around the same skill level as us or just straight up bots that gaming hasn't really felt the same, and OG really reminded me of that. I understand it's frustrating to possibly get killed all the time, but I loved how tense it felt. You did not know whether the person that was across the field from you in Fortnite was fantastic. You didn't know if they sucked. You had to be so careful, and the wins, I still haven't got one, by the way, but the wins everybody has been getting has felt so much more rewarding. A lot of people have been able to re-experience that kind of feeling that OG gave to us. And I'll take it back even further. Like I said, it's not just OG Fortnite, just gaming in general. It really made me realize how much I actually missed not playing in skill-based matchmaking. But now everybody, and this is the problem, right? Because nobody can really handle losing nowadays. And it's very important because obviously I would imagine that there's going to be a lot of people that disagree with me here. It's sad that I have to say it, but I have to say it, especially since the channel's growing on YouTube. We're getting a lot more toxic comments over here, but just because you disagree with me, that's okay. I don't hate you, and you shouldn't hate me either. I don't think you're an idiot for feeling differently. I understand your thought process. I would hope you give that same respect to me, because, again, I'm going to talk about, like, I can understand why some feelings can get hurt in this, man. Something that the player base really needs to accept, and it's been like this for a long time now, and I don't know really when it changed, to be honest with you, was the fact that people are better than you. We've seen so many comments against, like, bots in Fortnite, or, like, I'm personally, like, against them. I mean, I see so many comments, like, pro bots, and again, I'm very for bot lobbies. That's important. I'm talking about just in the regular game. And skill-based matchmaking, because people overedit. It's unnecessary. Everybody's trying to qualify to be in the World Cup. That is such a small minority of the player base. It's unbelievable. Just because someone's better than you doesn't mean they're a tryhard. And again, I'll take it back to this. Like, I can guarantee you, you are trying to win. It doesn't make any sense. What they are doing is not unnecessary. They're using the skills in their toolkit in order to get the win. The player base evolves over time, and that's okay. People can be better than you. That's okay. I don't understand why everybody is so incapable, and I know I shouldn't have said everybody, but there's so many players nowadays that are just flat out incapable of having fun when people are better than them. I know people who will get off of a game because somebody destroyed them. That's the fun of it for me, especially when it comes to a Battle Royale. That was the OG experience. Everybody was okay with it back in the day. Part of the fun was running away in fear of that John Wick, because you knew that guy was level 100. You knew that guy was likely very good at the game, and you had to run away. You got that little big rush of dopamine. That was part of it. And if you and your squad managed to take down that John Wick instead of crying, which people would do now, oh my god, John Wick, I'm not even gonna bother, and just leave the game. People back then would have tried to kill that John Wick, at least like, okay, let's all shoot at this guy. This guy's coming for us. And that's just one little example. That's just one. That's the fun of it. And the other part that's really fun about it is you can find people that are worse than you. You remember those defaults that didn't know what they were doing? You run into those people, you run into the people that are great, and you have great fights with people who are around the same skill level as you. I've always Loved no skill-based matchmaking, and especially bots. It's just flat out not rewarding. It takes away from the experience. And I will say it for the last time, I am very pro for the people who want to play in bot lobbies. If people have fun just fighting AI, that's totally okay. Make it so that's available for those players. I don't see that being an issue. To be honest with you, I don't get it. I'm shocked, to be honest with you, this update took so long, adding OG, and not OG, excuse me, I'm a little bit tired, adding bots to OG, because I thought that people were going to cry and whining that people were better than them, and that's happened. But there's also been a lot of really nice positivity that I've seen from it too. I understand the frustration of loading into a game and dying over and over again. I get that. But what people did back in the OG days was they'd land on the outskirts of the map if they weren't good. They would crouch around. They would try to third party. You would try to find ways to win, man. I don't understand. We've just had a huge mindset shift, man. It's unfortunate, but again, I do understand where people are coming from, but I'm still against it at the end of the day. Not against it in the sense where I want to shut down their opinion or anything like that. I just think that it's better for the game to have no skill-based matchmaking, no bots, have bot lobbies, and we need a complete erase on this mentality of gaming that's been taken over from the years. I grew up in the COD and Halo days. People were better than you. If you saw somebody, back to that face sway tweet, I always say it. Back in the day, when you saw someone prestige in COD, and of course I'm paraphrasing, you either sent him a friend request or you tried to actively beat him because he was so good, instead of running away and crying from it. When you change your mindset, when you try to have fun, when you try to kill that player better than you instead of leaving and going back to the lobby or complaining that he needs to touch grass, and you gotta know, man, you gotta know that these people that are better than you are not grinding the game 24/7. Have you run into somebody who plays competitive and is trying to qualify for the World Cups? Probably at some point, but it's not nearly the vast majority of people that are better than you. It's okay when you try, and of course I'm generalizing, you specific viewer may be an exception to that rule. It's always okay when you try. It's always okay if you try to win the game, but as soon as somebody else tries to win, that's where we draw the line. That's unnecessary. That guy needs to touch grass. I can't imagine being in that mindset, to be honest with you. I do not understand it. So, it's not just about what I think, guys. I wanted to take a look at what I had to say. I'm tired again, man. I'm sorry. It's past 2 a.m. What a bunch of people over on the Explore page had to say, and a bunch of replies over to myself, which I should have thought of doing this a lot longer, guys, because I appreciate you. I'll show you the tweet right now. This is what I had to say. Anyone want to share their thoughts? I'll be using some in an upcoming video, not just about bots and OG, skill-based matchmaking, the feel of OG, anything on the topic about this change. And thank you so much for taking the time to reply, because obviously everybody's sharing their thoughts. It's valuable time out of your day. I really appreciate you helping me build these videos, guys. So I wanted to take some replies from there, some replies that I found on the Explore page, and replies that I just found throughout the day, because again, I spent the time watching fights. I just bookmarked things that I thought would be interesting to talk about for a video. So it's going to be a combination of all of that. Shockingly, there were a lot of replies that do agree with me, but if you disagree, I'd still love for you to comment down below, and we're going to get into it. I think it's going to be like an okay mix, but from what I've seen online, a lot of people seem to have kind of the same take that I am, but there are tweets, don't get me wrong. It's difficult to find more in-depth tweets, for me personally, about people being pro-bot. I like all you will really see is, yeah, I can have fun again, that type of thing, and then there's no really part where I can exactly build off of that for a video. Do you understand what I mean? If you guys would like to participate, at Clen YouTube over on X, or you can find the link tree in the description down below, guys. Let's get into what everybody had to say about this topic. Atomic had this to say: I understand the point of skill-based matchmaking, but why have bots when you have millions of players in playing your game? It makes no sense, especially when we've never had bots on OG, so when they added it, I was sad because it was challenging to win. It's dumb. I love the fact that it's a challenge. It's like so many players just want the wins handed to them now. And then those same people will kind of cry and be like, you remember your first win in Fortnite? Games don't feel that rewarding to win anymore. It was so difficult. I still haven't gotten... Did we win yesterday? No, we won in Chapter 6. I was thinking about the stream that I had yesterday. I still haven't gotten my OG win, man. It makes for a really fantastic game in my opinion, but it's true. You do have millions and millions of players. It's shocking to me that you can't fill a lobby even with just skill-based matchmaking. Evolve Jake had this to say: I'd rather have neither, but I can completely understand adding skill-based matchmaking. Bots are one of the worst additions of Fortnite in my opinion, especially the amount per match that has become normal. I think the part of the magic Chapter 1 had has been lost since that it was 100 real players per match. I'd be happy if they made 100% bot lobbies an option for people that want that. It isn't really affecting anyone but them, so where's the harm? And massively reduce the number of bots in regular matches. I do agree with the vast majority of that, because bots in regular matches absolutely, like, bare minimum need to be reduced. And bots, here's an example. Bots ruined the experience in Fortnite Remix for me. I ran into bots more than I have actual real players. But honestly, like, just having a 100% option for bot lobbies, like Jake said, I don't see an issue with that whatsoever. I think that's actually a good thing, because there are people who like to play against bots. Nothing wrong with that. Twisty Chase had this to say: "It is baffling to me that people find killing bots fun. I understand winning games is hard, but that's the point of BR." I'm unfortunately on that side. I try to be one of those people who understand it from all aspects. I understand the people not wanting to play against players that are better than them. At least I understand where that's coming from. But what I don't get is the people who enjoy the experience just killing bots. I don't understand. If you're one of those people, comment down below and maybe you can shed some light on your mindset, because I personally don't understand. I'm not saying that as like a dig. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Why wouldn't you want to play against real players even if they're better than you? But regardless, let's continue on to what Caspi had to say. Fortnite should focus their efforts on improving the matchmaking system as a whole rather than replacing players with bots. To be honest with you, I don't know exactly what that would look like, because as far as I'm aware, the matchmaking system is okay, but I'm sure there's always parts that Epic Games can improve with, obviously, right? But maybe somebody can shed some light on that with me as well. But anyways, let's continue on to Formula Toast. I think Epic is simply making the best decision based on what data they have regarding player engagement. I think so long as the bot per count match is low, it'll be the best of both worlds. Maybe Epic should keep tweaking it until they find the sweet spot, and I'm sure that's what they're going to do. Epic Games has done a fantastic job over the years. We've had some bumps in the road the past year, but Epic Games, especially right now, has made the game nothing but phenomenal. We have another new mode coming out. Epic Games is constantly updating Fortnite. I'm sure that they're smarter than us behind the curtains, and I'm sure that eventually we'll get the right thing. But bots, I don't know, man. I don't know if they're ever going to fix that one. Perhaps it is a good thing, because so many people really want to not play against people that are better than them. I wonder what the actual, like, number of people who like bots and dislike bots are, because I actually don't really know. Regardless, let's continue on to Lil Bogos. Chapter 1 never had bots nor skill-based matchmaking, and I think it could stay that way. Have I been getting rocked by some sweats? Sure, but that's the fun of it. You never know who you're up against. The satisfaction of killing someone is way better than you. It feels super good, and winning feels so good. Very true. I don't understand why people take the game so seriously. If someone's better than you, I go back to the lobby. I don't think twice about it. I've never sat back in my entire life and thought like, wow, this guy is an actual loser. This guy needs a life. And I don't know, man. Like, these people have such a picture for people that are just better than them that just fits such a minority of people in the world. I mean, not people in the world, but I guess the player base in general. Most people are just people trying to, like, have fun playing a video game. If somebody's better than you, somebody's better than you. Let's continue on to excuse me if I'm pronouncing this wrong. Penkin. People enjoying this change wouldn't have survived in Chapter 1. True, but there are also a lot of people who didn't play well in Chapter 1, but in general, yeah, Chapter 1 didn't have any skill-based matchmaking, and it was hell. It was hell in the sense, like, in the best sense possible. It was, it really made me remember how much I enjoyed fighting against people back in Chapter 1. People were better. People were worse. It was a lot of fun to be a part of. Jen had this to say: I genuinely do think people forgot it was so much harder to get a win in old Fortnite, and that's what caused the people to riot for bots. We got too used to how much easier things are, which is fine, I am too, but it felt nice having the challenging gameplay back. Yeah, everything did get easier. The game got better, but the game also got easier. I love modern Fortnite, but I think that, I don't know, because everything that you see online, the vast majority of people seem to be against the idea for bots. Skill-based matchmaking is another story. I would say most people are pro skill-based matchmaking, but everybody online seems to be against bots. I wonder if Epic Games actually did see like an increase in player base or people staying on the game from bots. It's making me kind of second guess myself here. Nitron had this to say: to cut it short, skill-based matchmaking is a bad idea in all games. You are punished for doing well and succeeding in a match. If I drop a high kill win, I'll get put into an even sweatier lobby. It creates an illusion that you can never get better, and that's incredibly stupid in my opinion. That's an interesting idea. You can create an illusion that you can never get better. Yeah, that might be... that's an interesting take. I'd love to know what you guys think about that one down below. But what people don't forget too is the good players are often punished. The good players are the ones who have to sit down and try their hardest. And I'm not saying that nobody tries their hardest, but they have to like really lock it in. Why is it okay for the people who just want to chill, but the people who happen to be good and also want to chill are punished by putting themselves into better and better lobbies? I think that people forget that, and I think that people ignore the fact that there are people that get punished, and you can get punished for being good at the game. Syriza had this to say: I understand why it was done, but I do believe it defeats the purpose of OG. This has been the most fun I've had in a while not facing any bots. There was suspense, anxiety, and reward facing a team you know is real. Rather lose to real players and get the win on real players. It's true. I feel the same way. This has been the most fun in the while that I've had not facing any bots. In the sense of, like, I just knew everything was real. In Chapter 6, I know I can be safe. I can just enjoy the environment, and that's great, don't get me wrong. I'm having a ton of fun in Chapter 6, and with all the new mechanics and new guns that feel great in Chapter 6, and just the way the gameplay flows in general, I still am enjoying Chapter 6, but man, was that magic brought back with OG. And I hate the OG map, by the way. I think it's so bland, and it's just grassy area, but I loved the limited heals, and I loved having to just hide behind trees. Like, it brought back that old OG experience. As this tweet said, there was suspense, anxiety, and reward. Very, very well said. Let's continue on to what Rylick had to say. My thoughts on OG: skill-based matchmaking should have no place in Fortnite. Pubs should be random matchmaking, while ranked tournaments are based on points. OG is no different. Part of what made OG special was being able to go against plaid players and sweaty players in the same lobby. Skills-based matchmaking made everyone a sweat. OG needs more heals. I don't care if OG back then had no heals. The game is sweaty now, and these OG guns do a lot of damage. It makes no sense that they can add sprinting and sliding and mantling, but why not some more heals? They saw what happened in OG 2023. Why can't they do that again? I don't think bots and pub lobbies are bad all the time. If there are too many, I fully side with the anti-bot people. But having 5 to 15 bots per game can be a nice refresh for players, can help queue times a lot, and can help players get more lobbies even in off hours. The real problem is when there are 50 plus per game and you go from fighting 10 bots to an actual sweat. That experience is not fun or rewarding. To be honest with you, I think that's very well said by Rylick. I do disagree about the heals, but I also don't think that he's wrong. Epic Games did change quite a bit about OG. Why not change the heals? But I personally like the change of gameplay, and I personally like the feel of having to be very careful with your health. But Rylick isn't wrong, and I thought this was very, very well said. Let's continue on to what Cole Matty NF had to say. Bots detract so much from the experience in Fortnite. I play Battle Royale for the PvP aspect, not to fight AI. It's so much less fun and rewarding when you win a game with 70% AI as opposed to winning a game with all real players. Again, I can't help but just agree with this. This tweet got a lot of attention, and I think it was very, very well said. But we have so many more tweets to take a look at, guys. Let me stop you for just a second. As you know, I recently started a family. Don't know when I have to start saying recently because it's been quite a few months now, but regardless, I have been promoting my supporter creator code because I've been grinding so hard on YouTube over here because I want to make enough money to support my family, to give my wife and future children the life that my dad awarded to me growing up. And since I've been advertising the supporter creator code, you guys have been using it a little bit more, and it's been helping me so much. Honestly, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So if you do not have a supporter creator code that you're using in the item shop, please consider using code Clen. It's helping more than you will ever know. I really appreciate you guys doing this, and just taking the time to watch this far in the video, by the way. Like and subscribe if you have not. Man, it's really cool that you guys... I know I've been making these videos a lot recently, but every analytic I have tells me to keep making these videos because obviously people are enjoying them. The view duration is great. If you're watching this far in the video, your time is very valuable. I appreciate you spending it over here with me. Let's continue on to what Yarel Prime had to say on TikTok. Take it this way. When the game came out, we were all bots. To be honest, I see bots as a 50-50. They either work or don't work. Fortnite added bots to make the player experience a little less stressful. Some like it, some don't, but if they feel like bots help, then who am I to judge? I mean, you're always welcome to judge. Everybody has their opinions on things, but it is a good point. When the game came out, everybody was bots, but the problem was you still had all of those players, those select players that were so good at the game, they just wiped their lobbies. I still will say that was part of the fun. It was part of the fun. And you know what? I think I've said this before. I don't remember if I've said it publicly or if I was with my friends, so I'll just say it again. Everybody loved the OG Thanos mode. It was like the greatest thing to ever happen in gaming. To have one overpowered character that you had to hide from. You had to work together to go kill. There was this one thing that you had pretty well no chance in fighting against, but the fun of it was running away from it. The fun of it was hiding in a bush. I get that you're choosing to play this mode. Were you choosing? Yeah, you must have been choosing to play the mode back in the day. But everybody loved it. And all of a sudden, you take away the Thanos skin, you turn it into a John Wick, and all of a sudden, that person has absolutely no life. I don't get it. I don't get it. And that's what I always say. It's purely a mindset issue, okay? Lil Smurf had this to say, bots in the game actively make people worse. There's no reason to add them other than to give bad players a quick dopamine rush. Based as usual from Lil Smurf. It's true, I never really thought about this. They do make the game actively worse, and I don't know how long this this new subscriber, by the way, thank you for subscribing, has been on my camera. Apologies for that. I'm still using my stream preset. I'm exhausted, like I said, guys. I'm sorry. It's 20 past 2 in the morning at this point. Anyways, as usual, fix now, Little Smurf. Based as usual, like I said. Let's continue on to what PBJ had to say about this whole thing. There's a huge amount of value for having to struggle in Fortnite. It's much more fun and rewarding to get a win against fair game of every skill level and then hand-fed wins because everyone's a little bit worse than you. Bots are so boring because you won't see anyone all game, but then when you finally do find someone, you lose because they are better than you. Even if that doesn't happen, you win the game because there's a ton of bots. It's just much more fun when you can either get destroyed or barely win or destroy everyone. It's much nicer. It took me 4 seasons to get a solo win in Chapter 1. The skill gap has always been there. The only reason people complain now is because they've had bots and haven't had to ever try harder battles. It's so annoying and I'm tired of winning without having to work for it. It's true, I really do like that second part, to be honest with you. It's more fun when you can either get destroyed, barely win, or destroy everyone. It's much nicer. You have a diversity of gameplay experiences. You'll either find the people better than you, barely better than you, which will be very rewarding to get a win, by the way, or you can find the people dancing and doing the gritty in the middle of a street and you can join them. I know the gritty wasn't out back then, but you get the point. And I'm gonna be real with you guys right now. PBJ's right. People just want games handed to them now. It's a whole big mindset shift in this world, which is just crazy to me. It's a video game, it's a battle royale, and this actually leads me into, I wanted to include my own tweet over here, okay? I had this to say. Gonna upset this community for a moment. Participation trophies led to a generation of kids who are incapable of having fun without skill-based matchmaking and gaming. I don't blame any of you for being incapable of having fun. I blame everybody's parents. We had the warnings there, but nobody listened. This is why my dad is the absolute best. My dad taught me how to lose, man, and it's a very important thing. It sounds so stupid, but it's something that you carry through life, man. Just, it's okay to lose, and it's okay to try, and it's okay to just not have fun. What's the big deal? Not everybody needs a participation trophy. Even if you talk, and I know like what you're gonna say, you're gonna comment down below, what's this have to do with a participation trophy? I know it's coming, okay? But it has everything to do with a participation trophy because everybody wants to get a win now. Nobody wants to put in the work to get better. Nobody wants to improve their skill by fighting people better than them constantly. They just want to be handed wins. Again, I'm talking about a very specific type of player over here. You viewer who likes skill-based matchmaking, I'm not talking about. But like I said, I still blame everybody's parents. This world's so backwards that we're in now. Let's continue on to what everybody else had to say. D-Rock Games had this to say, should be completely random lobbies, 0 bots. The lack of shield and loot makes it feel more like a survival and strategized fighting, which is what made it so popular. Wins in OG give people a way better feeling knowing they just beat 99 other real people of all skill levels. I love not knowing if someone's a total noob or some wannabe pro that's going to try and crank on me when I kill them. I can L dance on him, or the excitement of seeing a streamer in the kill feed like the old days. Sound effects are nostalgic and amazing. Life was simpler when this game came out, and I think everybody feels that. Very well said. Very, very well said. And I actually forgot, to be honest with you, about seeing random streamers in your lobby, because I never thought about that. You don't see that anymore. Remember those clips where it's like, oh my god, I just killed Ninja? I think that'd be really cool, personally. I think I actually really forgot about that, but it's true. Beating out 99 real players is such a great win. Do you guys remember when everybody was posting on their Snapchat stories their win in Fortnite? That's because winning in Fortnite actually meant something. I guarantee you, all of you that played back in Chapter 1 remember your first Fortnite win. We all do. It was a crazy, great time. Let's continue on to what the Diggity Duck had to say. While I understand the people who don't want bots, I personally want them. They make me feel like I'm having fun, I enjoy the game, and I feel like I can complete quests and challenges, etc. Skill-based matchmaking is a need across the whole of Fortnite. It helps you feel like you are getting better if you are challenging yourself against people around your skill. If you're facing 20 to 30 sweats a game while being new, you're never making progress. I'm all for bots and skill-based matchmaking. It helps players grow and adapt and become better players, but Epic should use bots for skill-based matchmaking, not every game. I understand the part where finding people to like a little bit similar skill to you makes you better over time, But the problem is those really good players are also being punished, and we now have so many other modes where you can practice with, you can even 1v1 with people around your rank. Like, there's so many different ways you can go about practicing. But what I actually am for, like I said, is bot lobbies. Why do they have to be just infected? And I guess infected is the right word for it, for how a lot of us feel. Why does it have to infect the regular gameplay with real players? Let's continue on to urgent. I think it should be a toggleable option, or we should have just asked for ranked, which you're still getting. I've never thought about the fact that no bots made wins more deserved, and I agree, but video games are supposed to be fun. Glad though I can finish my quest now. I mean, yeah, like the bot lobbies would fix the quest things, right? Unfortunately, the Battle Royale isn't exactly a spot where everybody should just do quests. I thought it was cool back in the day too. Like, this is what you would find in Chapter 1. Everybody trying to do a quest. Like, you remember everybody just getting in line, waiting to play the piano, and everybody was like so nice about it. That was the OG experience. That was anybody joining the lobby. I thought it was a lot of fun, but I do like the idea of it being toggleable too. You can just toggle on bots, toggle off bots. I'm okay with that personally. Why not? Let's continue on to Trilix. Am I saying that wrong? Sorry about that. The randomness and feel of no skill-based matchmaking is what made a BR and most casual games feel better in every way. If you have to, add skill-based matchmaking to the lower skill player base, so the lower skill player base can still enjoy it, but adding bots just feels incredibly unrewarding for everyone. Yippee, I won a game of 90% bots. That's what I don't get, what you get out of winning a game against bots, but it's also an interesting idea to only add skill-based matchmaking for the lower part of the skill base. Maybe like once you reach a particular criteria in the skill-based matchmaking ranking, however it works, then just throw people in lobbies with everybody. I'd honestly be okay with that as well, because the people that are brand new to the game, brand new, you can give them an experience with people that are also brand new, or you can fill their lobbies with bots. I'm okay with that as well. Continuing on, let's take a look at what Emmanuel had to say. It's not that big of a deal. I understand the novelty of playing against real players, but not everyone was having fun. If you want to play against real players, just wait for the ranked mode or don't play this mode. I understand that, but also I think a lot of the people, and not everybody obviously, but a lot of the people were enjoying Fortnite without skill-based matchmaking or bots. That's one of the reasons why Fortnite became so popular, was the diversity of players that you can find in your match. You never knew what to expect. I get that not everybody has fun with it. I get it, but I don't know what else to say. Like, there are other modes for you to play, and I don't think that, and the problem is I don't know the number of people that agree with people like Emmanuel, and all the respect in the world, Emmanuel. Like, again, I'm not hating on anybody that I disagree with over here. I understand how you feel. I just wish we knew the actual number of people who would prefer to have bots, prefer to have skill-based matchmaking, and vice versa, but unfortunately, we don't really have that information. Let's continue on to what Pansy Cack had to say. Sweats are not the problem, it's the mode itself. You can't bring in almost one-to-one creation of a game from an era without a defined meta into a time when players have evolved. Poor loot distribution, limited heals, outdated mechanics, bloom. This mode will never truly work. I thought it was working. I get that though, I get that. But you still had the fun. I still had to be careful in my matches. I still had to really worry about picking my fights, where I was picking my fights. I had to worry about my position. I had to worry about actually building a fort on the hill. It worked as like the unfinished experience that it was supposed to be. But I get it. It's unbalanced. It's very difficult. I understand that. The mode itself, I don't know if I want to call it an issue though. I just understand the issue that people had with it, if that makes sense. Let's continue on to the next post. Cypher PK had this to say: on day one of OG, every win felt satisfying and intense. Even the close losses were a rush. I haven't felt that feeling in a while due to how wins since Chapter 2 were a lot easier to obtain due to bots. Yeah, I feel like most people are against bots from what I've seen online, but the problem is most of the replies and most of the people I'm talking about have been complaining about bots, and it's the same issue that you have with really anything. The people who, and this is why I wish that we had the actual numbers, because what's very important to note is the people who are happy with this change are probably just playing the game and enjoying themselves. The people who are upset about this change are the ones that are always going to be vocal, right? That's the issue that I'm having with all this. I just wish we had the real numbers. Loot Station had this to say: you're actually joking. In my opinion, skill-based matchmaking ruined Fortnite, and I understand for ranked because you're facing opponents in your rank, but for pubs it should be public. Good, bad, medium, pro, that was the fun of it. Like back in the day, you would see a default not knowing what they were doing while being terrified of seeing a John Wick skin. Like, that was fun. Instead of being rewarded for your skill, you are punished by facing harder players. It should not be this way. I do agree with Loot Station. I get the people who say just go play ranked. That makes sense, but ranked is also willingly diving into skill-based matchmaking system. And also, the bad players could also play ranked if you really want to go that far. Am I wrong in saying that? That seems like an easy solution as well. Let's continue on to what, again, another post from Cypher PK. Back in the day, you'd run to people with hundreds of games played with 0 wins. Average win rate was 1%. The current player base is too conditioned that winning is needed to have fun. It's tricky. I understand both sides of the situation. At least ranked will be real players. But ranked will take away from the experience, just as bots have been taking away from the experience and skill-based matchmaking has been taking away from the experience. But the other issue is, and while I said I don't understand the mindset of the people who, I mostly don't understand the mindset of the people, one, who literally enjoy killing bots, like literally, I get not wanting to fight against harder players, but I don't understand actually having fun with killing bots as opposed to real people. And I also don't understand the mindset of anybody who's better than me is a tryhard, needs to touch grass, has absolutely no life. Other than that, I'm like Cypher in the sense that I do understand both sides of the situation. There is just one side that I personally agree with, and of course, it's sad that we have to say this now, but it's okay if you disagree. Let's continue on to the next post. Caspi, and I believe we took another post from Caspi today. Could be wrong about that, but regardless, Caspi had this to say: to all the people who advocate for bots in Fortnite, I found a game mode you might like. I understand that this was more so calling a lot of people out, but I actually think that there's a point to take a look at here. I don't understand why you wouldn't play a game or want to play a game that's not BR. Why not play a single player game? And I'm legitimately asking that. Isn't the point of the Battle Royale to have fun playing against 100 players? Why wouldn't you want to play something like Save the World? Why wouldn't you want to play something along the lines of COD Zombies? Why wouldn't you want to play any single player game where they have incredible stories built into them, the game feels great, and there's hundreds of great games to play from, like very, very easily, that are just single players, you can fight AI, and you can have a great experience? Why is it Fortnite that everybody wants to change? And again, I know like what Caspi said is kind of calling people out, and it's probably a little bit like just, I don't know if, I don't want to say insulting, but you get the point that I'm talking about. I'm legitimately asking. If any of you disagree with me, I'd love for you to comment down below. I'll be taking a look at the comments. But in the meantime, while OG Fortnite has been really, really great, I don't know how much I'm going to continue playing it, but as of right now, I'm having fun. I'm having fun with Chapter 6. I'm having fun with Reload. I think Fortnite in general is in a great spot right now. So that leads me to ask you this question. What do you think was the greatest season of Fortnite? Well, I recently made a tier list with my take on what the greatest season of Fortnite is. Yapped for about 45 minutes. I would love for you to check out this video on screen right now. Thank you so much for your time, guys. Take care, everybody.